Okay, so LODs, LOD stands for level of detail. Essentially, it is determining how much detail should be rendered at a certain distance. So obviously, the farther away your camera is from an object, the less detail you can see on that object, but by default, you will still be drawing the same number of vertices when it is unnecessary to do that. So what level of detail systems can do is reduce the detail of a mesh the farther away you are from it. So the way it would work is you would create multiple versions of your mesh in your 3D software, and each version having a slightly reduced quality each time. And then Unity can use those to determine the quality to use depending on how far you are from it. So in this example, I just created like a tire here, and as you get farther away from it, it will use a higher LOD level, which will essentially be using the lower and lower poly count mesh as you get farther away from it. Another thing that is cool with that is in your 3D software, if you create your meshes following a specific naming convention, Unity will actually automatically use the files that you named to create a LOD group. So normally you would have to add this LOD group component that's on like the main mesh, and then it would kind of use the children of that to create the different LODs. But here, using the naming scheme, you just put an underscore and then LOD starting from 0 going up as you decrease your detail. Unity will actually, when you import it, automatically create an LOD group for you on the parent mesh. So that is something that's kind of convenient. And yeah, as you see, when you click through it, it'll show you what they all look like. One thing that I will say with that is when you use LODs, it's important to determine if you actually need them. Like if you have a mesh that's always going to be really close to the camera, you probably don't need to create LODs, or maybe you can create fewer LOD levels. But if you have something that's going to be close or far, that's when it would be really great to have those different LOD levels. But if you have something that's always far away, it's probably good to just make it lower detail in the first place and not bother with LODs, because the more versions of your mesh that you add, the more disk space you use and the more memory you're using. So that's kind of how you want to determine whether to use a level of detail in your scene.
Good for hero objects. So if you have something with like really high polygon, but as soon as it gets away, you can sort of cut it out. Because a lot of hero objects will use normal maps and stuff, and the silhouette is most important. And when you're at a distance, the silhouette like doesn't need that much detail. So you can definitely cut down on a lot of that sort of stuff for that sort of effect. So